Have you been told that your labs look normal, but you feel absolutely miserable? If that is you, then in today's video, I'm gonna break down the one thing we do with our clients who go to their doctor and they're told, hey, your labs look normal, but they have chronic gut issues, they're bloated, they can't sleep at night, they're eating healthy and they're working out, yet they are still gaining weight. And so they go to their doctor looking for answers. They want to know what is wrong, what has changed. But when they get those labs back, the doctor tells them everything looks normal. Just eat healthier. Just try to sleep more. Just try to stress less. This is a part of aging. This is common. This is actually your new norm. And so they walk away frustrated and defeated. And so today I'm going to break down the one change that needs to be made so you can stop being told that you are normal even though you do not feel your best. And so with that being said, my name is Cassie Lambert. I'm the founder and CEO of Strong Her 360, where we specialize in helping women optimize their gut health, hormones, and metabolic function so they can get out of feeling frustrated, defeated, so they can get out of just survival mode and start thriving by healing from the inside out and feeling their absolute best, just like these ladies right here. Now, a quick disclaimer, I am not a weight loss coach. However, the women I work with, a lot of them, they absolutely lose weight if that is one of their health goals. But most women I work with, they come to me because they have a strong desire to heal their hormones, to optimize their gut health, to rev up their metabolism like they were back in their 20s again. So weight loss, yes, is a part of that equation, but it is about how you feel from the moment you wake up in the morning and in every facet of your life and really wanting to thrive. And so in today's video, we're gonna peel back the curtain on why your labs come back normal, but you don't feel normal. And so the very first thing is we have to understand what the Western medical system actually is. Yes, it is called healthcare, but the standards, like our typical lab work that we get at a physical, when we go to see our doctor, is more like sick care. It's designed to identify someone who is in the need of medication, surgery, hospitalization. And so when you look at that standard, it doesn't fit the average person that wants to thrive and not just survive. The truth is, the Western system isn't actually the problem. I know it might feel like it is, but it's not. It's how we view it, because it's designed to identify those who are on the verge of needing medication, hospitalization, a major intervention to live. And there's a large group of people like myself and women I work with that at one point aren't sick. So our labs come back normal. We don't meet the standard of that kind of care, but we know they can feel better. They are sick though of feeling bloated. They are sick of mentally and physically just being drained from morning until night. They are sick of unexplained weight gain, but that level of sickness doesn't rise to the level of concern in the Western medical system. So undoubtedly, they become frustrated because they can't get answers. And the reason they can't get answers is because of this one problem. It only identifies the people who are at their absolute worst and need a severe intervention, which is why when you go get your labs done, there's a good chance you're gonna be told everything is normal, or it's just a part of getting older. Because in that setting, just like a school system, you're either a pass or a fail. So you're either an F, but if you're a D-, you still get a passing grade. And so the truth is, your labs could be a D-, they could be a C, but you're still gonna be told everything's fine. You passed, you're normal. And so by that standard of measurement, this is why you walk away with no answers. And the truth is, they're not lying to you. This is the standard of care that has been set up that we are living in. However, there's a large majority of individuals out there where that's not good enough. That's not a good enough answer. They aspire to be the A. They aspire to be the A+. They want to wake up every single day full of energy, with clarity, not be bloated, not be constipated. They want to get rid of that belly fat to have a strong and sexy physique. They want a strong libido. They don't want to settle for just being moody because it's menopause or that time of the month. But in the old model, it just doesn't work for that person, the person who wants to be the A plus, but is sitting at the D minus, at the C, at the B. It's not built for them. However, there is absolutely a different way to do things. First and foremost, we have to get rid of the pass-fail system. We have to change the grading system. No longer can it be if you are barely passing to you get a green. Good. No help necessary. Instead, we like to use a 4-point scale, a sliding model, to be able to identify 4 key things. 1, critical and needs attention now. This is red, red, red. Alarm bells are going off. 2, deficient, needs to be taken care of very soon. Sufficient, it's good, but it definitely could be better. Or optimal, you're doing great. You're at the pinnacle. You're at the peak. And in this 4-point scale, this takes you off the spectrum of barely passing or just the average, and actually is able to take a look at what is considered normal and be able to figure out where you actually are in the system so you can start to get those answers. And to be honest, the type of women we work with are aspiring to be optimal, at their best, because they know life is super short. And why not live every single day waking up feeling your absolute best? The second flaw in the system is the standard of care is minimal data being collected. What I mean by that is I've had numerous women come to me who have said, hey, I went to my doctor, I asked for a full thyroid panel, and they looked at my TSH, and that's all they would do. But they knew that wasn't a full thyroid panel. So their full thyroid wasn't actually looked at. I've talked to women who say, I went to my doctor and asked for a hormone panel. They said, there's no point. We're not gonna do it. I've even talked to women who have been labeled as IBS. So they really just don't know what's wrong with you. So you're just given this junk diagnosis because nobody can figure out what's actually going on. So not only are often women being told, no, we won't actually look at everything, but even if you do look at everything, you're not just a lab rat. You don't live in a vacuum. And so when you get your blood drawn and they only look at a few of those typical labs where we pull over 1,000 data points, but that is a video for a very different day, then they're not seeing the full picture. They're not seeing all the different things at the biological and cellular level that could be in what we say is the 4-point scale versus the pass-fail. They only see about 15 to 20% of the picture. Furthermore, they're not able to actually take a look at what does your nutrition look like from a day-to-day basis? How much are you eating? What kind of foods? In what amount? What nutrient deficiencies? The macros, the micros. They're not able to see what your sleep looks like, not just how much, but the quality, quantity. Are you getting into that deep rest? They're not able to see what stressors you have going on, personal stressors, financial stressors, work stressors, and how those all integrate into that feeling of, I feel abnormal, but I'm told I am normal. And so because of that, when you go get your labs drawn, it's just not about not all of the data is being collected at the lab level, but also who you are as an actual person and being able to overlay the labs, the 4-point scale, and then taking a look at your actual life and how these integrate to really figure out what is going on at every facet. And so if that's not good enough for you, here's what to do instead. And so I'm just gonna take you through a woman we worked with. Her name is Sandy. And she came to us extremely frustrated. She had hired a personal trainer. She had seen a nutritionist. She had cut out carbs, cut out gluten, cut out dairy, cut out anything the internet said was inflammatory. She had been on multiple doctor visits, and she had actually just been to the emergency room, which really was her final straw because she had severe nausea, bloat, and dizziness. And guess what happened? All of her labs at every single occasion, even that emergency room visit, she was told everything is normal, in spite of feeling like just getting out of bed was a struggle, in spite of having no sex drive, in spite of not knowing that when she ate a meal, if she's gonna have to run to the bathroom, why her hair was falling out. She had all these symptoms, but her labs kept coming back normal. In a very short period amount of time, we were able to pinpoint very quickly that her testosterone was in the critical zone. Her micronutrient status was in the deficient zone. And she didn't even have the labs that were needed to actually look at her gut microbiome to see what was going on there and causing her chronic gut issues. So we started with a clean slate. We started with a comprehensive audit, having her fill out this report right here, and then running a series of pinpointed labs to analyze optimal ranges versus just normal ranges, because we know normal is not good enough. On top of that, we looked at 30 different categories to include visible stressors, hidden stressors, recovery, and then we were able to cross-reference it all. And we saw those hormonal imbalances were the cause of her fatigue. We saw the inflammation markers were really high. We saw what was actually going on in her gut. And we put it all together, we realized that all these other symptoms, the fatigue, the nausea, their hair falling out, really led back to her gut dysbiosis, and it was causing malabsorption. So even though she was eating all the right foods and doing all the right things, her gut was in a state that it didn't matter how healthy she ate, it was going to cause inflammation and she was never going to get those vital nutrients. And then those bad gut bugs were so high, it was causing that diarrhea. It was causing that bloat and that nausea. But these things were never looked at when she had been on those multiple doctor visits. So even though she had spent thousands of dollars trying to get answers and just be heard and understood, she was met with just sleep better, just do a low FODMAP diet, just cut out more food. So within 7 days, we were able to pinpoint the actual problem because we changed the standard of how we looked at her assessment. Not only was it more comprehensive, but we didn't allow things to just be in a state of normal or abnormal. We used that 4-point scale. And so because of this, it was really easy to figure out what was wrong, because this comprehensive assessment was telling us a story if we just looked at everything at once versus just normal versus abnormal. And so from there, we implemented a personal protocol to not just deal with her gut dysbiosis and malabsorption, but it actually had to seamlessly integrate into her life, because the reality is she was a busy mom. She was working full time. She was the sales director at the company that she worked with. And so she couldn't have tons more things on her plate in order to be successful. The protocol needed to be intended to help her heal, get out of survival mode, and thrive. So then she would never find herself in that state again. It had to be sustainable in order to prevent any rebound. So it wasn't just about building a protocol to help her heal, it also had to fit her. And then from there, we just supported her through the implementation of that. And here is what she said recently about waking up after so long of thinking that her normal was miserable and feeling excited about what was ahead. All right, so the big takeaway, I'm gonna break it down to 3 simple steps to summarize what we talked about earlier. So number 1, we have to understand the Western medical system is not broken. It's just not built for you. Number 2, we have to change the sensitivity of what we're looking at. No longer can we accept pass or fail for our labs. We have to understand it's a spectrum, and we are working towards optimization within that spectrum. And number 3, we don't live in a vacuum. You are not a lab rat. You are a human, you are a woman, and you need to understand that your environment, your hidden stressors, your visible stressors, your sleep, your nutrition, your biomarkers, it needs to be looked at comprehensively. And when we do that, we are able to pinpoint what is holding you back so you can move forward. So once again, my name is Cassie Lambert, and I'm the CEO and founder of Strong Her 360, and I specialize in helping women get to that root cause of what is holding them back, to get out of survival mode and start thriving. And so if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.